tired. This is decaf coffee, and I have decided to give up my morning coffee for, I don't know, some amount of time. I'm not going to say forever because, I don't know that. But I'm going to do that. My brain isn't functioning. I've been weaning off of the caffeine already, and so this is decaf. I'm down to no caffeine, except for the affogato I had yesterday. But yeah, my cognitive abilities seem to have regressed a little bit doing this, but hopefully that won't be forever. So anyway, most of the people that I follow are very pro coffee, and I totally accept that coffee has plenty of health benefits that have been shown. I accept that. But I want to try getting off the morning coffee, and in this video I'm going to talk about why, and then and how I'm feeling so far. It's not great. It could be worse though. And then, what my plans are in the future, whatever. Yeah, so. So the reason I started thinking about doing this is because I've been struggling with really low appetite, and really, low appetite is something I've struggled with more than like eating too much. If I let myself eat like processed junk, then yeah, I just want to keep eating that. But when I'm just eating like a normal diet, my appetite is often quite low, and it seems like particularly after I'm sick, it'll take me like a really long time, like months, to get my appetite back. But even beyond that, I pretty much never have an appetite in the morning, and I've been trying to consistently eat breakfast, because that's something else, people I follow talk about, like breakfast is actually important, whatever. It's a secondary circadian signal. So I've been trying to eat breakfast, and I've still been eating the cooked apples for like months now. They're quite good. But like I struggle to eat like a high protein or terribly filling breakfast because I just don't have an appetite. I've never really had an appetite. But I'm like, you know what? Like the thing is, coffee is an appetite suppressant. So like maybe that's the whole problem. I don't know, but maybe it could be part of it. I've been having coffee pretty much every single morning of my life for like at least the past decade, if not more, 10 or 15 years, I don't know. And I love coffee. I'm totally hooked on it. It's one of those things, like I wake up and I just want to have my coffee and I don't want anything else. And then I just want to keep drinking coffee and I don't want to have anything else. Even if I feel myself like being super hungry and feeling like I should eat, like I'll feel better if I eat, I don't want to. I just want to drink coffee. And like I don't like that. That doesn't seem good. It's, if I would go without, not only would I get like a debilitating headache from lack of caffeine, but I couldn't function like a normal person. Last year I gave up coffee for Lent, so 40 days, and I did it, but I was just constantly trying to fill that void with like other tasty drinks and just like couldn't wait to get back to drinking coffee. But if I'm like giving it up for a longer period of time, I want to get away from that. Like, oh, I need this thing, like I don't want to need something like this in my life to function like a normal human being, right? And so I was thinking, well, maybe my appetite's just poor because I drink a bunch of coffee in the morning and it's an appetite suppressant. Like maybe it's that simple, and maybe I should try giving it up. And then I remembered some videos that I had seen, I think they're a couple of years old now, from Sarah Kleiner Wellness, who's somebody I follow, and she gave up coffee, and she wears one of those things, what is it called? An Aura ring. I don't have any fancy gadgets like that, but she noticed some really big improvements to her sleep after getting off the coffee. And then like eventually she had like a couple of weeks where she went back to drinking coffee and she saw those sleep parameters get worse again. And then she got off the coffee again and they improved again. And she talked about how she has a couple of genetic SNPs, you know, the SNPs. I forgot, I meant to look up what that stands for, but I forgot. But you know, like the genetic variations between people. And she has a couple that indicate that she doesn't process caffeine well. And I had done one of these genetic reports some years ago, and so I double checked, and lo and behold, I have the same things. I am a, hold on, wait, let me look it up. Okay. Okay, I'm back. I found it. I have the same two things, I think, as her, but maybe these are the only two SNPs that have to do with caffeine. I don't know. But I've got possible sleep disruption with caffeine intake, but possible sleep disruption with caffeine intake, and I'm a slow metabolizer of caffeine. It's like, well, heck, dude, like, every single morning, since forever, I wake up and it's just like a slog, I don't wake up with good energy. I'm like, I struggle to get going in the morning, which is why I'm like, oh, I need my coffee, right? Like, because I'm like, I don't wake up feeling refreshed. And it's like, well, maybe for like a decade or more, I've had disrupted sleep in a way that I can't tell just like myself, but it is actually being disrupted. Like, I forgot to mention, she said the ways that her sleep was impacted is her heart rate variability was impacted and her amount of time spent in deep sleep. It's like, well, maybe I'm getting like basically no deep sleep because I'm just like totally saturated with caffeine, and I'm getting poor sleep because of it. Like, maybe not, but maybe. I have to try. I don't know what it feels like to not constantly be on this. Like, to not constantly have this in my life every morning. So I have to see if there's a difference, if I feel any difference, right? Like, I have to do this experiment. It's important. And maybe I'll find that it really benefits my health. Maybe I will start having an appetite in the morning, and maybe I'll start waking up feeling really like I actually slept, right? And I need all the help with sleep I can get because, my youngest, she was just like the most terrible sleeper, which I've talked about before. I spent 2 straight years being severely sleep deprived, like severely. I'm not like, she still wakes me up generally once or twice a night, at least. Thankfully the wake ups aren't super long usually now, but I mean, we're talking like there were plenty of nights where I basically may as well not have slept, like for the first 2 years of her life, like it was really bad. And so I need all the sleep help I can get. So anywho, I'm going to try giving up the morning coffee. I'm not gonna never drink espresso again. Like, when I take my kids to the when I take my kids to the ice cream shop, I will get an affogato because it's the most amazing thing in the world. And I'll probably have an occasional latte. I'm just gonna try and get away from the morning coffee, just this thing that I have to have every single morning. I'm gonna try and get away from that and just see how I feel, and go for at least a few months. I will check back in with y'all in a few months and let you know if I'm feeling any different. I mean, hopefully I will be, right? Hopefully there's something. But I've been weaning myself off the caffeine for several weeks now, so today's the first day that I'm having just straight decaf. I was having just like a tiny bit of caffeine. and now I'm on straight decaf until I get some roasted, what's it called, roasted chicory root in the mail, and I'm gonna give that a try. I tried making lattes with this stuff this herbal mix that I got from Grimhood, and that's not gonna work out. That's a replacement, just because it doesn't like mix in very well with anything, so it's sort of grainy. Not pleasant enough to replace my morning coffee. But yeah, so I'm going to do this and see how I feel. And I'll let you know. Hopefully it's amazing. Yeah. Yes, I knew I was forgetting something. My kid waking up distracted me, but how I'm feeling is just like low energy, obviously. Low energy, cognitively, just like I feel kind of depressed, not in the sense that I feel sad, but just like physiologically and cognitively depressed, like kind of wading through molasses, you know, moving and thinking slowly kind of thing. But and I've had like a little bit of headaches here and there. Hasn't been terrible, I've been weaning off like quite slowly, So I haven't really had any terrible headaches, just kind of like minor headaches and low energy. And so hopefully, I don't know how long that's gonna last. I mean, like I always have low energy anyway. That's like a problem for me. Maybe this will fix it. I don't know. But anyway, that's how I'm feeling.